Here's the latest from Force 13 on Tropical Cyclone Kevin. Tropical Cyclone Kevin is currently located 17.2 degrees south, 167.1 degrees east. Central pressure is 966 hectopascals and a category 3 according to the Vanuatu Meteorological Agency. The cyclone is about 115 kilometres south-southwest of Vanuatu, 140 kilometres west-northwest of Efak. Winds close to the centre estimated at 130 kilometres an hour, 70 knots. And in the past 3 hours, severe tropical cyclone Kevin moved in a southeasterly direction at 25 kilometres an hour or 13 knots. The cyclone is forecast to be at 18.7 degrees south, 169 degrees east within the next 12 hours. Destructive hurricane force winds of 130 kilometres an hour, 70 knots, gusting to 185 kilometres an hour, 95 knots, within 35 nautical miles from the centre of the system, and it's expected to affect the islands of Malampa and Schaefer in the next 3 to 12 hours. Destructive storm force winds 90 kilometres an hour, 50 knots, gusting to 130 kilometres an hour or 70 knots, are within 50 nautical miles from the centre of the system and will continue to affect Sema, Malampa and Schaefer today. Temperature gale force winds 75 kilometres an hour with gusts to 105 kilometres an hour will continue to affect Sabna, Panama, Malampa and Schaefer provinces today. Heavy rainfalls with thunderstorms expected all of Vanuatu with flash flooding in low-lying areas, areas close to the riverbanks and including coastal flooding. Seas are very rough to phenomenal, with heavy to phenomenal swells over Vanuatu waters. Storm surge is also expected to affect west coast sides of Sabna and Central Islands and all over all of the coast of Tafia, apology for the pronunciation, islands, and all sea-going vessels including boats to small fishing rafts are advised not to venture out. The Office of the NDMO advises red alert remains in place and people over the areas are advised to listen to the radio. The agency continues to do 3-hourly updates. And considering the ongoing threat, they've now decreased it to 2 hours. Unfortunately, it's not good news for Vanuatu. Earlier today, there was a magnitude 6.5 earthquake recorded, and a state of emergency is now current for the entire country. However, what's the Joy Typhoon Warning Centre saying, Kevin? Tropical Cyclone Kevin, located near 16.9 degrees south, 166.6 degrees east. Maximum sustained winds 80 knots, gusting 100. And in 12 hours time to be located 18.4 degrees south, 168.4, 95 knots, gusting 115 knots. So 109 nautical miles west-northwest of Port Vila, tracking east-southeast at 10 knots over the last 6 hours, and wave height is now 38 feet. And their technical information: multispectral satellite imagery depicts a symmetric central dense overcast figures called convection. SSMIS 37 GHz colored composite microwave image indicates the nearly symmetric silent ring, indicative of ongoing rapid intensification. And let's get the path also indicates the same and consolidated wind field as 16 peaks past the south of Vanuatu. The initial position is based with high confidence and is expected to continue on a southeastward track in a favourable environment. This environment characterised by warm sea surface temperatures, low vertical wind shear and strong outflow aloft. Forecast to strengthen 16p through the next 24 hours until reaching a peak intensity around 100 knots and possibly higher. After the 36-hour mark is being reached, increasing vertical wind shear, cooling sea surface temperatures will slowly erode the system through the next 48 hours down to 85 knots, and by this time the cyclone will begin a tropical transition, and by the 96-hour mark the system will transform into a subtropical low with an expanding wind field. Model discussion. New record models are in good agreement with a 200 nautical mile spread in solutions by 72 hours. Majority of this spread is due to NAFGEN to the south. JTWC forecast track is placed with high confidence. With the exception of the HWRF and the GFS, reliable model intensity guidance is in good agreement that the system will intensify through the next 24 hours, and after 36 hours the cyclone will weaken through the forecast period. Force 13 will continue to bring the latest information, and we also have severe weather impacting parts of the United States, and our US channel is providing coverage, and we'll be back when possible to provide you with another update.
You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com, which has had a revamp and is still under reconstruction, but take a look. Also YouTube, of course, if you haven't subscribed, that might be a good idea. Visit Force 13. We're also on Facebook under the same name, of course, and you can like us on there, and you can also follow us on Twitter. Search Force 13, all in text for those. You can also add Force 13 on Skype or my personal account on Discord, Fool13, at extension 9094.